Alrighty, the level 58 Scholar quest is called Unseen. Unseen, given to us by Cerrito Carrito to the west of Camp Bronze Lake at the water's edge. Here we go. Cutscene. And it always starts with Cerrito pensively looking out over the beautiful lake. Peacefully, maybe. Thinking his thoughts. How goes the training, friends? I nod. As Mercy's comrade-in-arms, it is clear that her prowess with the scholarly arts has increased immeasurably thanks to Sergeant Tolga's advice. Alas, the same cannot be said for me. I had already thought myself a master of Nemean techniques, frankly, based on what I had gleaned from the tablets we uncovered, but the sergeant's training has robbed me of that notion. I am still a novice. Until Sergeant Tolga says I am worthy, I wish to continue training. Your ambition does you well, Alka Zolka. Stay true to this path, and you will become as fine a marine as ever marched under our banner. Alka nods. Well, I suppose I have no choice but to ask you to do the work of two, Mercy. I have tried every method known to me to find our missing Voidsent, but without success. It seems Nemean magics will not suffice. That comes as little surprise. This Voidsent was in Mock's thrall, and likely chosen for its ability to circumvent Nemean wards. Yes, which is why I hope your academics have answers I do not. Have you any writings on Voidsent? I believe the Thaumaturge's guild in Ul'dah has a collection dating back centuries, including some authored by their Beladian forefathers. Beladian? Not Maki? Perhaps they were the heirs to the Void Mage legacy. In any case, this Ul'dah seems worth a visit. Will you go in my stead, Mercy? I nod. I suggest you seek out Yayake. She is an old friend whose love of ancient tomes rivals mine own. I wish I could see her in person, but I must continue my training, as well as look after the new recruits. There are new recruits? There are two hardened Marauders in chainmail, full chainmail gear, with great axes on their backs, doing push-ups under the watchful gaze of... God, what's his name already? I mean, it's only been one quest. 1, 2, 3. To victory, Mercy, come hells or high water. And Alka runs back, possibly to continue doing push-ups. Well, I just give out an exasperated sigh. We will teleport. Gosh darn it, all the butt. 168. 175. Wait, no, 168. I have 175 free teleports left. So 168 to teleport from, I think that was Outer Lenosha? No, Upper Lenosha. To Ul'dah, but Ul'dah is one of my favorite destinations, and I have reduced teleportation rate, so do not take that as what it will be if you do it. So, teleport over to the Thaumaturge's guild. I believe Yayake, yeah, she's the receptionist. Here we go. Ah, our own avatar of devastation. To what do we owe the pleasure? She knows me, because I have a level 70-something Black Mage. Oops. Alka? Alka Zolka? That is not a name I expected to hear, but I am glad my fellow book lover is well. I have indeed read of Voidsent able to perfectly conceal their form. There was a tome on the subject. Unseen was the title, penned in the 5th Astral Era. Unfortunately, it is no longer part of our collection. A member of the guild borrowed it for his research expedition, a project which was to last some few moons. However, that was 5 years ago, and he has not been heard from since. A pity. He proposed the most fascinating theories on Voidsent and traveled to the western highlands of Korthus to put them to the proof. Alas, that area was rendered inhospitable by the calamity. There is a chance, of course, that the man is alive and the book unharmed. We traced his journey as far as Falcon's Nest. Perhaps someone there can point you towards where he ventured next. Teleport to Falcon's Nest for 425, but we're going to use a teleport ticket. Hold on a second. And then to the south, closer to like the actual main south gate, is Redwald. We'll talk to him. How now, adventurer? On the trail of our researcher who visited 5 years ago. That is not much to go on. The garrison was still stationed here in those days. Subini, Sam O.U. Bravo I. Nancy I.E. is in charge of organizing the records. If any here know of your researcher, it will be her. To the east a bit, I think probably in these lower deck doors. In fact, she's at a table. Allison, pretty, wearing chainmail. Oh, hello. How might I help you? A man researching Void Scent? Yes. Where? Sorry. Yes. Where was it he was mentioned? Oh, that's right. He stayed here for a time before taking the North Star downriver, which was one among many sunk by that fearsome primal's rampage during the calamity. The lucky few who made it to the shore were then eaten by Vilekin. She's surprised because she's reading it from the book, even though it doesn't look like that. Well, the boat ran aground and hasn't moved since the river froze over. The words I'm expecting to possibly read aren't the words that I am reading, so there's some little dissonance here. You may wish to search the wreck yourself, though do be careful of the local wildlife. I don't know why. I'm not trying to expect what the next word is, because that is folly, especially in this game. But we gotta fly far to the north, so we'll do so. This zone is big, which is not, I guess, uncommon. Lots of zones are pretty big, but when it comes to large zones, I actually do think that this particular set, like the Sea of Clouds, is freaking-gantic. Corthus Western is pretty big as well. That's where I am right now. Dravanian Forelands are pretty damn big. Like, if you're looking at the different parts of Thanolin, or Lenosha does have that really long zone, but aside from that, I think these zones are the largest. But I've thought something like that before, because there are so many times I have had to take Falcon's Nest. Well, no, I suppose I could have. So yeah, sorry, teleported to Falcon's Nest, which is in the bottom right corner of this map, and then flew, whatever, all the way to like the northwest portion of the map, kind of like I'm doing now, but northwest instead of just north. And it takes so long, even flying. Imagine not being able to fly. It's crazy. Fly, you fools! Oh, I had to get on top of this ship for another. I think it was White Mage. And you can only do so by flying. So you have to reach a certain level at which you can get all the ether currents and have completed all of the plus quests that are for ether currents. And we have a rime-bound crate, R-I-M-E, so like frost, rime, ice, whatever. I got my Chocobo, so we're good for now. A Hulk Dweller, which is like a kind of a leathery winged parrot. A big one. Attacks. I think you're still in the attacker stance. Go, Pegasus, go. It's sad that I still do more damage as a healer than my attacker Chocobo, but I suppose for balance reasons that does make sense. By the way, an attacker Chocobo that is almost fully... Well, no, I still have a few levels to go, but... here we go. And we will return to Cerrito Carrito. I'll pay the price. 232 is not too bad with the reduced rates. like I've said numerous times, I have enough resources to have like 780-ish, I think, last time I did the math, teleport tickets, so free teleports, and getting, I think I can get, well, they're the allied seals. I think I can get roughly 800 a week very easily. I think it's about 800. I haven't actually done the math. I haven't done it in a couple weeks because I'm just more interested in other stuff, and I don't need the only things I get from doing the Masked Carnival are tomestones of poetics, which I kind of sort of need here and there, and allied seals, and I don't need allied seals right now at all. The tomestone, I mean, it doesn't take a long time to do those, like the weekly Masked Carnivals, but it's not important, you know. Other stuff I prefer to do. So here's Cerrito Carlito for the turn. And have you found anything to aid our cause? Void Scholar's effects. Handed over. Cutscene. These things have all seen better days. Ah, but here is the book, and the writing is still legible. It will take time and patience, but I am hopeful its secrets will allow us to snare our invisible void scent. Do mine ears deceive me, or did you track down a book? Splendid, Mercy, says Alka from off-screen, walking up to us. The two Rogadin, one male, one female, Marauders are at his side. As for me, I would like to think I've improved by leaps and bounds, thanks to Sergeant Tolga. That's the dude's name, okay. The recruits are coming along nicely as well. They give cheers. With a bit more training, every individual in our unit will be able and ready to face our void-sent foe in battle. Very good. Then let us all attend to our tasks. The day of reckoning will be upon us soon enough. The Marauders nod. I turn to watch them go, give them a nod. No explanation of like, hey, you're gonna get a new thing, but 53,040 experience points, 2108 gil, it's not bad. And emergency tactics, level 58, 15-second recast. Transforms the next galvanize and catalyze statuses into HP recovery, equaling the amount of damage reduction intended for the barrier. Okay. Yeah. So there's I have Sage level 100, and I think there's a version of this for Sage. Wait. Hold on. We'll check it out here. I've never used it, because it didn't. Scholar has another version of this. Or one of them is like, we'll find out in a second here. This is something I would probably use fairly frequently. And I almost never use Ruin, so moving Ruin over to... Yeah, doing that's not okay. That's not a good idea. So that's fine. I could have sworn there was something else that did that, and it might have been Sage. If you didn't know, Sage is the other shield healer. There's a chance that I didn't put it on my bar because I never use it. Not a good chance. Lustrate? No. I actually might use this. As I have leveled, I have found out that there are occasions when groups are going to be taking a lot of damage, and it is necessary to, not pre-shielding has really not been necessary very often at all. And God forbid you get a Sage in the same group as a Scholar, and then The Scholar's shields always overwrite the Sage, so it just feels so bad trying to heal as a Sage. But as a Sage, you can just ignore the healing side of things, and Scholar can't. Except for like emergency tactics. We'll let you do that once every 15 seconds. But otherwise, Sage, and so Scholar, I don't see that thing that says you convert shield to heal instead. I do believe Sage has something like that. But I don't use it. Okay, yeah, so Pepsis, every 30 seconds, you can remove the shields, either the single target and the AoE shield at the same time, and it'll do a heal. This is an instant cast, off global, 30-second cooldown, and I've never used it. I cannot think of a time I don't mind having the shield. Like, so what I've learned is, in most cases, and I don't do raid healing, because I don't really do raids. At least I haven't in a long time. The ones I did were on White Mage, and that's all very easy and straightforward. In most cases, letting the shield linger and having the shield up, like on a group, it lingers for 30 seconds. It'll block incoming damage, up to whatever potency it has for that amount of time. And they regenerate health in the meantime just naturally. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another, probably, in all honesty. Like, you can either heal, actually, and if you can manage to use this at the very end of the duration of a shield on your group, like, it doesn't care about the remaining duration. You get that potency. That's why it's every 30 seconds probably, rather than the 15 seconds for Scholar. You just get it. You get the full potency. 350 for the AoE heals, 450 for the single target. Sorry, AoE shield, 450 for the single target shield. But again, I've never used it. I can see where it'd be useful. I'm not in situations. I'm too nervous in general to take my Sage into content that I am just doing for the first time. I pretty much always go White Mage. Sage, I just heal the level 50 main scenario stuff because it's fun. You can just keep casting, and your casts heal the tank. And anyway, there's a lot of these I probably have never used because I just don't heal high level content with my Sage. Eventually I might, try it out and see how I do, but I do think that there is a equaling the amount of damage reduction intended for the barrier. I don't know. So emergency tactics would be one way if there's major damage that was taken. I could see like doing an AoE sucker followed by an emergency tactics AoE sucker, or on a tank, like every 15 seconds you can give your tank that's actually something. I mean, you have to use Adaloquium to do it, so the mana cost is not good, but you can do it if you want, I suppose. I think it's probably going to be more useful for AoE. And then the question is, do you do emergency tactics sucker first and then a basic sucker after that? Or vice versa? Does it matter? Probably not. But yeah. Anyway, I knew Sage had something similar to that, but also quite a bit different. It benefits more. Well, A shield is a shield, so I guess the duration of the shield left doesn't really matter. If it gets used up, they don't benefit from the pepsis or whatever it was called. If it doesn't get used up, then they can benefit from it. But if it doesn't get used up, they're also not taking damage. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Dark Knight level 58 quest coming in a second. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.